Stories whispered, lessons shown on this channel. If I had known.
If I had known. I was born into a world of ideas. From an early age, I was fascinated by science, chemistry, and invention. While other children dreamed of adventure, I dreamed of discovery. I believed that knowledge could solve problems, improve lives, and move humanity forward. I was not interested in fame. I was interested in possibility. I wanted to create something useful, something important, something that would make a difference. If I had known where that dream would lead me, perhaps I would have walked a different path. Perhaps I would have asked different questions. Perhaps I would have thought more deeply about the consequences of success. But when you are young, ambition often speaks louder than wisdom. And I listened to ambition. As the years passed, I devoted myself to science. I spent countless hours in laboratories, studying chemical reactions, and searching for new ways to harness energy. One substance fascinated me more than any other: nitroglycerin. It was powerful, extraordinarily powerful, but it was also unstable and dangerous. Explosions happened without warning. Lives were lost. Many scientists considered it too risky to use. But I saw potential. I believed there had to be a way to control its power. I became obsessed with solving the problem. Failure after failure followed. Experiments ended in disappointment. Money disappeared. Friends doubted me. Yet I continued. Then tragedy struck. A terrible explosion occurred during one of our experiments. Among those killed was my younger brother, Emile. The pain was unbearable. No invention was worth losing a brother. No scientific breakthrough could erase that grief. For a time, I wondered whether I should abandon everything. Yet I pressed forward. I convinced myself that once the substance could be controlled, it would benefit humanity. Eventually, after years of work, I succeeded. I developed a safer form of explosive. I called it dynamite. The invention changed the world. Suddenly, mountains could be blasted apart to create roads. Railways could be built faster. Tunnels could pass through solid rock. Canals could be constructed with greater efficiency. Industries celebrated. Governments purchased my invention. Businesses sought my expertise. My wealth grew rapidly. People called me a genius. They praised my innovation. They admired my success. From the outside, it appeared that I had achieved everything a man could desire. Yet success often hides uncomfortable truths. As time passed, I began noticing something disturbing. The same invention that helped build roads could also destroy cities. The same explosive used in construction could be used in war. The same technology designed to overcome obstacles could be used to take lives. Nations were not only purchasing dynamite for peaceful purposes. Armies were purchasing it as well. Weapons became more powerful. Battles became more destructive. The line between progress and destruction became increasingly blurred. I tried to tell myself that I was not responsible. After all, I had invented a tool. Others chose how to use it. But deep inside, the question remained. Had I helped humanity? Or had I made it easier for humanity to harm itself? The question haunted me. Then one day something happened that changed my life forever. A newspaper accidentally published my obituary while I was still alive. My brother had died, but the newspaper confused him with me. When I opened the paper, I expected to read about someone else. Instead, I found myself staring at my own death notice. The headline shocked me. It described me as a man who had become wealthy by finding new ways to kill people. A merchant of death. A man remembered not for scientific achievement, but for destruction. I sat silently, unable to look away. The world was telling me how it would remember me, and I hated what I saw. I had spent my life pursuing knowledge. I had worked tirelessly to innovate. I had sacrificed relationships, comfort, and peace of mind. Yet if I died at that moment, this would be my legacy. Not the roads, not the bridges, not the scientific discoveries, but death, destruction, war. That realization pierced my heart more deeply than any criticism I had ever received. For the first time, I truly understood something. A person's success is meaningless if their legacy brings harm instead of hope. Money suddenly seemed less important. Recognition seemed less satisfying. Achievements seemed less impressive. I began asking myself a different question. How do I want the world to remember me? The answer did not come immediately, but over time, a vision emerged. I wanted my wealth to encourage peace rather than conflict. I wanted future generations to celebrate discovery rather than destruction. I wanted to reward those who improved humanity. Scientists, writers, peacemakers, thinkers, people whose work elevated the human condition. The more I reflected, the stronger this conviction became. Eventually, I made a decision that surprised many people. I would leave most of my fortune to establish prizes, awards that would recognize those whose contributions benefited humanity, not only in science, but also in literature and peace. I wanted my resources to inspire greatness long after I was gone. I wanted my final act to point humanity toward a better future. Some people questioned my decision. Others criticized it. But I knew what I had seen in that obituary. I knew what it felt like to confront the possibility of being remembered for the wrong reasons. And I never wanted that feeling again. Years later, as my life drew toward its end, I often reflected on the strange journey I had traveled. A young inventor seeking progress. A businessman achieving extraordinary success. A man wrestling with regret. A man searching for redemption. I could not change the past. I could not erase the suffering caused by warfare. I could not control how every invention would be used, but I could choose how to respond. And that choice made all the difference. Today, many people know my name because of the Nobel Prize. Far fewer know the internal struggle that gave birth to it. They see the award. They do not always see the regret. They see the honor. They do not always see the reflection. They see the celebration. They do not always see the lesson. The lesson is this: success alone is not enough. We must ask what our success accomplishes. We must ask how our actions affect others. We must ask what kind of legacy we are leaving behind. If I had known from the beginning how my invention would be used, I might have approached my work differently. If I had known how fragile a reputation could be, I might have considered my legacy sooner. If I had known that one newspaper headline could reveal the truth about my deepest fears, I might have spent less time chasing achievement and more time shaping purpose. Yet perhaps that painful realization was necessary. Perhaps some lessons can only be learned through struggle. Perhaps some regrets can become the foundation for something better. My story is not simply about invention. It is about responsibility. It is about reflection. It is about the power of changing course before it is too late. And if there is one message I would leave behind, it is this: do not wait until the end of your life to think about your legacy. Do not wait until others write your story. Write it yourself. Live in such a way that your achievements bring hope rather than harm. Build rather than destroy. Serve rather than dominate. Leave behind something that makes the world better. Because one day, every person will be remembered for something. And when that day comes, may your story be one worth telling. If I had known, I would have understood earlier that the greatest invention is not dynamite. The greatest invention is a life that leaves a positive impact on humanity. That is the legacy worth pursuing. Thank you for choosing If I Had Known YouTube channel, where you find life-changing stories. Subscribe, like, and share to your friends. And never miss next episode.
If I had known.